Latha.
Yes, Krishna. Hi.
Good.
Nice meeting you here again.
Yes, same here.
Yes. Do you need few minutes before we start, or you're good to start?
Better at least a minute.
Right. So we both can remain in silence. Whenever you're ready, we can start.
Yes, Latha.
Yes. So in the next 30 minutes that we have, what do you want to take away from this conversation?
I feel um, both me and my organization are in the cusp of giving something great and valuable to a larger audience. So that may require um, me to assume sometimes a larger than life or larger than reality figure. I am not comfortable with it. So I'm just figuring out how to do a good work, without coming to limelight. Just the thought was going.
What is making that uncomfortable for you?
The attention I've seen over a period of years shifts from the process or service or the product to the personality, which from a deeper sense it's incorrect. So that defeats the very purpose. And all big steps are done to leave a legacy behind. So that is the main. Because I was attending a program this Friday, where are you hearing an echo? Okay. Where we understood that all that which the Tatas are achieving today were sown by uh, Jamshedji Tata, and many things happened after his time. So I feel uncomfortable because the legacy and the message needs to be more important than the personality, because personalities come and go, right? culture is a legacy which India has. We take pride in that. So that is that transition I'm trying to do.
I hear you say that it is important for you to focus on the product or the process or the outcome rather than the person. What makes you feel when you are at the limelight? What do you feel when you're in the limelight?
It's I don't feel I deserve, because whatever we do or we plan, this is my basic understanding, is built upon the sweat, hard work, insights, and the tapas of so many masters and so many people before us, in a time where there was no newspaper, no internet, all those things. And they just did everything for the welfare. Okay, in the process, whatever we need for a livelihood, we'll anyway get. So that is what I feel. Undue attention for someone who is not the originator of anything. So we can't take pride in saying I did it. There's no I there. So that's making me a bit uncomfortable. It's the last full year I have been, people have been telling, you need to do this, do that.
Mm.
And I'm very uncomfortable also usage of this word I. That is coming in the way of, not coming in the way. I'm happy that it's coming in the way, because I may, even being a mortal, lose sight of what I set out to do, and I may bask in the glory of the limelight which I am getting. So that defeats the very purpose of doing something good and leaving a legacy.
So I'm sensing this conflict that I want to take this organization, or the organization is in a stage where I have to take it up to a bigger level, reaching larger audiences. At the same time, this undue attention to the person feels not right. So this conflict, what else is there with this conflict?
Because of unable to discover the right way to proceed, I'm seeing delay in the production itself, delay in certain things.
Mm.
Because I firmly believe you don't need to say all the insights you get, but whatever we say, we should know. So, because I'm not getting a clear view, uh, it is actually stopping me from finishing certain things. I remember in our earlier conversations, I explained to you about the struggle of publishing, right? And I'm happy to share that moment I discovered writing is my core, publishing is not my core. It got sorted out. and it will be anytime done. Like this here, preparing the product and the messaging and everything, I clearly know it's my core. And when I see the way whatever I am trying to do is done by contemporary teachers or masters, it's becoming like um, it's not a hero worship personality. It's becoming like a cult. That is a dangerous sign. Then once the personality dies, the process will die. But if the attention is on the process, personality is an incident for that process to be brought to the limelight. But if the person is in the limelight, when the person's time in earth is over, the process also will die. So that was the larger object.
I see that you have a very strong conviction on how it has to be taken forward. We started with you mentioning you don't want to be in the limelight, or you want to figure out how not to be in the limelight. And then we've had this conversation so far. So, with this, what specific do you think you want to take away in this conversation in the rest of the time?
What needs to be done needs to be done. Because of this conflict, there is another, the next book is unfinished. Because the moment you finish, then you need to bring it out, right? So that is what I am trying to resolve. How to leave a legacy without being in the limelight. If
Mm.
you ask me to rephrase the question, now after you asked, that's what occurring to me. How to leave a legacy behind without bringing the personality ahead or being in the limelight.
Uh, at the end of this conversation, what would tell you that you found a way to leave a legacy without being the limelight?
Honestly, I don't know. If I had known, conversation would be over right now. I meant to get that uh, right now radarless in with respect to this topic.
Mm. We'll see where it takes us. Um, you mentioned that it is important to focus on the process, and otherwise, if it is on the person, and when the person is not there, then the process is also gone along with the person. I could sense the importance with which you mentioned that. What else is making this important for you?
There must be a reason why we are born. That's clear to me that this is the legacy which needs to be left behind. Then my problem is with how to do it, because our role models are the great rishis and the great ones who never bothered about a patent, copyright, and trademark. But the society was also uh, embracing such a lifestyle those days. Today, that is not the case. You need to generate self-support. So then you need to bring this process to make it more people reach, then they ultimately revenue is generated. Because earlier the system consciously took care. Now also it's taking care, but it is not as clear as how it used to be. So that is the main thing. If the system was like that, then nobody needs to worry. No, you keep doing your work like how you learned as a legacy from your teacher and you pass it on. And the reason I say this is clearly because apart from a few people, nobody knows even my teacher's full name because he has forbidden me to bring him into public. Correct? And I have seen his teacher, their teacher. They are content with sharing it and going ahead. So I found the profound peace with which they are living life. Because by doing something, if you lose peace as a bargain, like how the sports people, the entertainment, and even the gurus nowadays, correct? I don't want the trade-off. Should be able to go for a morning walk at peace, right? So that is the key. Getting into limelight is not a big thing. You can easily do it. But at what cost? So that is one. And the key is if we get into the limelight, it may appear that everything is we created it. But we clearly know that it is not an one man or one generation job, which is coming out as a product, service, or an offering. So that is the conflict. You put the right word there, actually. That's the conflict which I'm trying to resolve. How to do this without compromising on the value.
As you were describing this, the image that I had that was coming to me was it's like it's
No,
like
please
Srimat,
proceed.
uh, it's like it's like a white canvas, and then we have Srimat, we have Krishna, and then the more you were talking about it, it felt like you want Srimat to grow, glow, and then the world has to know about it, benefit from it, and then Krishna has to, be in that just the light spreading zone or the propeller for Srimat, just here,
Yes.
not in the same space as Srimat
Yeah.
is. So this kept coming to me. Uh, when we began, I had you both, and then now it's like this. This is how I see it. I'm not able to put a lot of words.
You have beautifully captured it. And in fact, that is the vision or dream which keeps coming to me.
Mm.
Individuals are incidental to the process. The process is the main thing.
Mm. And I also felt that you certainly don't want Krishna to become this.
100%.
Yes. Mm.
Because under a banyan tree, no growth happens.
Mm.
Under a banyan tree, we can sit and listen, but you can't nurture others.
So considering that these both should happen, say Srimat has to grow and glow, whereas Krishna wants to be in this catalyst position. Where do you think we need to start?
You need to. I'm so blank like a canvas actually. Can we take a minute? So your question is giving a insight that Srimad should be seen at more places than being localized here. Someone should start offering in that in some other place, and that should be done by them. It's like a bank branch. Uh, Neither the branch manager owns it. You know, it's like that. Maybe I think that's the way to go ahead to find out, talk with people who have benefited and find whether they would like to do it in this way, their way, with the value system what we have. Because all these years I stopped the urge to start many centers, this, that, because unless there is an experience when you do a process, you should not share it. That is an unwritten rule we have in the tradition. I can't just talk about a subject without you having an experience or realization of it. So maybe you should talk with people who have had this experience and realization and have come back to me and discuss with them the possibility or opportunity to uh, start in this name, so that the name starts to be seen and people see more people are doing this, and not necessarily only me doing it. So I become one of those behind the process. Thanks to your that question. And this also frees me to complete what I am having in mind. I told you the second one book. Just I heard somewhere, not read, I will now search and read that once Paulo Coelho started to write, after he releases the book, he goes incognito. He has his own space. He goes in to do the next. When you ask that question, these thoughts are coming to me now. So I can keep doing my own.
When I heard you say this one way, mm, I also felt a little relief here and there.
Yes.
What other ways can emerge now?
The way I'm just getting a thought that the way even the second book needs to be structured it in a way that it should be a harmless self-help, so people become empowered. It should be like the cookbook generally is given during marriages. It's just going to help. The parent cannot be present with the child always. So maybe the presentation should be in such a way that it, people are able to implement it without harming them. That is main concern is that. See, when you share something in your physical presence, sometimes the experience and realization of the subject naturally transfers into an authority in the way you say, and it is received well. But in the absence, how to continue to have that authority and responsibility. So as you ask this question, that's what emerges.
So we started with this very specific takeaway that you want to find out how to leave a legacy without you being in the limelight. Where are we now?
I should thank you for accepting an answer that I was blank or something at that time when you asked me, where have we reached? But now I can see that. I can see at least 4 of them who are ready to do that. All I need to do is to talk with them, take it ahead. So that is one clarity. The another outgrowth of that clarity is now I can complete what I had set out to. The third thing which emerged is to possibly rewrite or present it in such a way that even if someone practices, it's not going to harm them. The benefit is a second stage. When somebody is practicing in the absence, benefit is anyway there if they follow the practice. But first step is prevention. These are all emerging very clearly after your questions.
When you said about talking to other people, I could sense that you have some faces popping up very clearly. Now, what else do you think you require to go ahead with this?
Just I have to call a meeting of those 4 and also study their aspirations as well. And these are some things you can't take back once given. I think it will work.
You mentioned about talking to these people, and then you also mentioned about presenting a book, your next project, in a certain way. What support systems can help you?
Now I know I have to become a coachee again. That's it. That alone is enough. Clarity is there, so actions will be taken. That's what I feel.
Yes. In one line, if you were to summarize this for you, how would it be?
I think I feel the same way how I felt when we started Srimad. It's nothing happening, Suddenly something emerged. I feel that way. Thank you, Latha, for I think your questions were bold enough, and particularly the usage of the word conflict uh, brought that out, which I never thought. So that helped me to immediately align certain things. Thank you.